501c3 nonprofits, including one that I sit on the board of, USARA, also the Prodigal Foundation, which specifically raises funds for people that can't afford treatment where they can apply for a scholarship. But I would say that there are also things that are available that are outside of that cost, model, including the successful program of Alcoholics Anonymous, which has been around since the 1930s. And if we can start to get people plugged in there, if we talk about a peer support structure or a blueprint and a model, certainly that one would be effective. But outside of that, I think there's so much that has to be done on the legislative side to be able to fund those through insurance companies, and that can be a challenge, and it may be a battle that's a long one.
And the settlement from Big Pharma, I'm guessing, right? AG? Jen, closing
and
comments.
Medicaid expansion, I think, is going to be an essential and crucial piece of that, and I do think we're likely getting closer and closer to that happening here. It won't be the panacea of all of a sudden Medicaid expansion and yay, there's all these dollars, and yay, there's all these new treatment spots, but it's a huge piece of it. I do think that seeing parity between physical health issues and mental health issues is going to be, and ensuring that those parities of care are carried over. It is law that insurance companies are supposed to use parity in the way that they treat physical versus mental health, but the reality and the practicality is it doesn't happen, so those will be big.
And will you also comment on the nature of how we approach healthcare here, which is reactionary instead of proactive?
You mean kind of we'll treat you once you've fallen off the cliff, but not put the
once
fence
you're
up
close
at
to
the
death.
top. Yeah, yeah, it is. It's true. Like, why don't we put a fence up at the top rather than the ambulance at the bottom of the cliff? And it is. I suppose it's a very human thing, right? We're not going to deal with the things until we absolutely have to, whether that's resources or denial or lack of the number of hours in a day for all of the issues. But it is clear that we have got to reframe the way that we talk about these issues, and prevention is more than just say no and build up for strong families. It is more, there's way more than that, although those are clearly pieces that we would all like in our communities. There's way more. We have not succeeded coming out of the 80s with just hoping we can teach people to just say no. We have to do more, deeper, better, more honest, hard dialogues.
Brian,
So myopic.
Yeah.
final comments?
No, I just thank you for the ones that have come today. It's an important topic. It's just pervasive. It penetrates every community. Like I said, I've been in law enforcement for a long time, and I never thought that I would be seeing a situation like this in the United States where drug trafficking, drug use, drug abuse has become so pervasive. America has an insatiable appetite for drugs. We really do. We live in a pill for ill society, a pill for every ill society, and we have to change that pain paradigm. When you really look at it, just like Alema said, the keys are thinking outside of the narcotic box. Just like everyone up at the panel here, we've been preaching this gospel for months, if not years, and I know I speak for the rest of us here. I won't touch a Schedule II narcotic unless I absolutely had to, because of how addictive it is. Until we start treating those pills that come in a bottle the exact same as street-level heroin, we have a problem. Because honestly, they're the exact same way, and we have to change the way we think about pain. Yes, sir.
Just asking, do you think most people understand what an opioid is and what they're getting?
No.
No, absolutely not.
And so as part of the awareness campaign and what you're doing, saying Percocet is an opioid, I just think the disconnect is there. And I would just suggest and challenge you that as part of what you're doing, it's great. But most people don't know that Percocet or others are opioids.
Yeah.
When we hear opioid, there's a disconnect going on between, oh, I'm taking something that is killing 73,000 people. So I would just encourage you with what you're doing, and we applaud you. The connect's not there.
No, and
That's a good point.
Yeah,
Just not
our
there.
billboard campaign was heroin pills it all kills, because we very much wanted.
But even just the brand name,
Yeah.
so that they make that connection.
Heroin, most people think heroin bad.
Yeah.
Most people don't think Percocet bad.
Don't we have a
right?
Naughty and nice, essentially.
We do, but we're so involved in it that we just assume everybody else knows what we're talking about. And Tim, you're exactly right. The average person doesn't make that link, and it's critical. So,
Closing, are you done, Mr.
Oh, that's
President?
fine. There's plenty
Okay.
more with the demo here.
Well, he's the one that said I have to talk about this, so and I'm glad he reminded me. I want to give you all one tool called SafeUT. This is one that is downloadable for free across any platform, 24/7, crisis care, counselor. If you are, and it doesn't have to be just addiction, it can be if you're a victim, if you're depressed, if you have any mental behavioral health challenge, ideating suicide, there's somebody on the other side, real time, who's a behavioral mental health expert that will reach out and work with you, trying to help get you to a safer, better place. That's one. I just want you to know it's there. It's anonymous, so you create your own password. Nobody else knows. It's you and the therapist, the professional, and it's great. The last thing that I want to emphasize is people always ask, what can I do? And they feel like, okay, we've listened to you and all these things, but I don't really know what I can do. You may not be able to change an insurance company's mind yet, or a pharmacy, but what you can do is eliminate the drug supply. The local drug dealer might be you or your parents in your own medicine cabinet. And twice a year we have a huge effort that the DEA spearheads called National Drug Take Back Day. But you can also drop them off any day of the year at many different stations, police stations, pharmacies. And it's such a critical thing to do and so easy. And so that's a challenge I wanted to leave you. Everyone can do that. Make sure your own drugs, that if you got 60 Percocet and your son only needed 1 or 2, but the other 58 are going to go to a place that they can be incinerated, they can be taken. Don't throw them down, don't flush them down the toilet. Don't just assume that they're going to be safe in your cabinet, because they're probably not. Someone's going to figure that out. Anyway, you get my point, but that's a huge thing that every single person in this room can proactively take a role in right away.
One more question.
Yeah, sorry. So I don't know if this question was answered, if anyone asked it, but with the second proposition on the ballot with medical marijuana, do you think that that will help decrease the levels of opioid if it does get passed, or do you think it will be the same thing with opioids and other individuals where they go to that physician and keep asking for the medical marijuana?
I told you you'd have to talk about it. In general.
I think that the hope with medical cannabis is that it would be an option for people who are suffering and people who need relief, that would not be opioid related, right? They're two totally different substances. There is clearly the overdose risk with cannabis doesn't exist. The overdose risk with opioids do exist. So I think there's hope that that would be an alternative going forward. In my mind, the people who are already dependent on opioids, you can't just substitute one for the other. So where we are with the people who are already in trouble with opioids, I don't know that I see a huge shift there. I am hopeful that if there are advances, it will be in this crew of people who have never had exposure to opioids, that they would have a less risky alternative. I wish they were not a Schedule I substance, so that there had been a lot of data gathered on it. We could study it like we study any other substance, and say, well, this dosing works for glaucoma, this dosing works for seizures, this dosing works for pain, this dosing works for PTSD. It's been really hard to study because it is a Schedule I substance. I am hopeful that there will be positives to come out of medical cannabis being available, but I think that to say that this will fix the opioid crisis is really short-sighted and maybe ill-informed.
And I'm seeing online the Utah Medical Cannabis Act has been posted, given a press conference that happened just at noon. In closing, I want to bring us back to where we started in the numbers. Finally found them. No, they announced a compromise. They're calling the Utah Medical Cannabis Act. It's posted online, sltrip.com, all the news outlets, and you can link there to read it. Okay? The numbers represent a 19.8% decrease in overall opioid-related deaths from 2016 to 2017. But still, 360 people died of an opioid-related overdose death in Utah during 2017. That means someone is dying today, someone is being buried today. So this is a conversation that needs to continue. My thanks to Salt Lake Community College, the Center for Health and Counseling, Utah Naloxone Renaissance Ranch, the DEA, General Reyes and his office for being here, and you as well. Thank you for coming. Feel free to come up and talk with our panelists.
Thank you, Laura.
And if anyone wants to know, also get feedback.